And we're here with the final round. We have Josh against Jeeves. I believe Josh was resolving his mulls down to 6, I think. On the playing Adventurous Impulse. Um, Interesting story, actually. Josh and I were actually speaking about this deck before he played it at the PPTQ last week. And I see he isn't playing Elvish, well, Nano Elves, which I agree with because Nano Elves just dies to chain well at the moment, and it's super underwhelming late game against all these big control decks which you have to try and grind out.
Yeah, I don't think it's really got a space in this deck at all. I mean, it's nice to get your Gyalka turn early, but is it really necessary?
Yep, probably not. I mean, most of your good cards are 2-drops anyway. On the other side, Jeeves' deck, one of the decks I really enjoyed from the Pro Tour. The guy that was piloting it actually fell asleep on coverage. It was pretty hilarious. And he's playing Fatal Pushes and Cast Downs, so the upside that has in this matchup particularly is where with blue-white your opponent had to be attacking, the creature had to be tapped. This is just, yeah, as we see, Jeeves letting it dissolve, killing the creature. You guys just get to kill all of your opponent's creatures before they attack, before they get too massive for you to care about. Fatal Push was a pretty hard card for Snake to play against before, having played the Snake meta a few too many times.
And I feel like Jeeves is already in a very good position.
Yeah, his opponent has no board, mull down, and is forced to play into counter magic. Ballista for 2.
And
That gets syncopated for.
did he just syncopate for 1?
And Josh apparently did not play. I think Josh knew he was trying to syncopate for more mana than his opponent had.
Well, I mean, even if he wanted to and he didn't, then it's just an absolute blowout because I've seen this happen before.
Yes, but that's at competitive events. Josh is a nice guy. He'll let his opponent do the play they wanted to play.
I don't know if that's correct in anything except
It may
F
not
and
be
M's.
correct, but he is a nice guy. I can't say much else about it.
Like I said, at F&M I understand it. Here, not so much.
And Josh with only lands and a Gear Hulk. The Gear Hulk will likely dissolve, but will probably die to the cost down in Josh's, well, Jeeves' yard. Cycle Fated Pools is the play. Argyle's Bloodfast.
Does he? Yeah, okay, he does get to kill it though. He does have to wait.
He doesn't, he just gets to Torrential immediately.
Surely. I wouldn't.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, we know nothing, but, you know.
I mean, it could be Blossoming Defense. The thing is, Jeeves doesn't know that Josh is even playing Blossoming Defense.
Alright, okay, he does do the correct play. He spends 2 mana to get a thing out. And still has 6.
Now we're going to see Torrential Gals flash in.
And what did he drew? A land,
He
right?
drew a snake. He already had the land.
Okay.
Jeeves, for some reason, thought Birdrisk Gyalk was legendary. Just reading the card, casting it down.
Look, I mean, it should be legendary.
I disagree.
Or, okay, not anymore. It should have been in the Snake's heyday. When the energy was still a thing.
I mean, they banned the tune. Yeah. Gone too soon.
Gone way too soon.
No Griffiner, I could understand. Get rid of Teamer. Bad deck.
Weren't you one of the ones playing it?
I played Teamer Black for Nationals.
Okay.
I played Teamer Black. Well, I played straight Teamer just before the lead up to Nationals after Snake. I wasn't quite happy with testing for Snake. Kept losing to the Scarab God.
Josh hoping the fairy does not ulti.
I think my team actually played basically the same deck list. I say team, but it was like myself, I'm saying Tariq. Tariq did manage to make the finals, so he was national team that year. Might be national captain this year. Not too sure how the captain race is going.
Okay, that card that no one gets to see is a promo cast down. There it is. It's the one that looks the best out of the three currently.
Well, it's
in
the only one that's
circulation.
worth playing out of the three, in my opinion. I mean, the op looks nice, but it's not worth playing.
I don't know.
Thing is, it's just strictly worse than the original print of Opt. He's just hitting for 5 each turn. The one nice thing about this deck is you get to close games out very quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't just have one kill condition. It has the old school torrential gear. I'll beat you for 4 turns in a row.
And it also has the Teferi backup plan, where blue-white is pretty bad against, say, Duress and those type of effects, as well as Lost Legacy naming Teferi. This Esper deck is a bit more resilient.
And Josh goes to the scoop phase.
Yeah, he's gonna play a second Gyalk, and that's lethal.
Depending on how Josh sideboards, I think Jeeves is just gonna 2-0 this one.
So I think we still have Shaq's deck list on the
Is
deck
that
list.
still the wrong one? Okay, let me quickly.
I'm almost certain this deck list does not play Fumigate. It's a verbatim copy of the Proto one after all. Yeah, one of Settle the Wreckage. No one sees it coming. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. You also can't cast it half the time. Interesting cards. Cast down the 4th copy. I'm not a fan, but it's a card you have to bring in. Essence Scatter is also pretty good.
Yeah, Scatter is very good here. Settle, I guess he just has to put in because he doesn't have a choice.
Jeeves is playing a 1 of Doomfall. I don't think he owns a 4th copy of Dusk's Contempt. So I think that's why he's playing the 1 of Doomfall. I was just noticing the side differences.
He actually had the list was for Vraska's Contempt, and he cut one for a Doomfall last minute.
Interesting. Surprised to see him actually make the change.
I think he was coerced into doing that. But yeah, Josh basically the same sideboard again. Get the Duraces in, get the Nessos in, get the Vraska's Contempt in. Thrashing Grantodon, of course.
It'd be interesting to see whether or not Jeeves brings in Siphoner. I don't think you do, because
I don't think this is the matchup for it. Yeah, this is not the matchup for the Siphoner.
I don't think Negate is particularly good, but I do think Duress is not terrible from the Esper side against his opponent that's definitely siding in Planeswalkers. The reason I don't like Negate specifically is your opponent's going to Duress you, take your Negate. If they have Planeswalker, they're going to Duress you anyway because you're a control deck. Whereas with Duress, you get to strip your opponent's Blossoming defense for 1 mana.
Cool, I had a quick look there. Josh did not put in his Nessus for this one.
I think he's just trying to go as quickly as possible on the play for this game. Not too sure. Has Josh qualified for Standard?
I actually
don't think he has.
Although he's been playing them a lot, so I do think he'll just eventually get invited.
Yeah, the qualified players are Thomas van Heerden, Olaf Galdenes, Hamza Ibrahim, Philip Franken, Imad Davids, Tahir Taladia, and James Combrink. Yeah, Josh has not qualified for this event just yet. Yeah, Josh just saying he has so much cards to bring in, he just can't afford to bring all of them in.
Oh wow, Josh has only played 1 of the 6 qualifiers so far, so this is his second one. I think he will really then want to actually get the win here, which is almost guaranteed not to happen.
Even if he does win this match, which is looking
Oh, this
pretty
is
hard.
very true because he didn't get the
Because
draw.
he's unbeaten, he doesn't have the draw. There's still a chance. Well, actually, no. I think James lost to Imad, so there's actually no one that can overtake him if he gets the win. But even if he gets the win, it's still going to come down to tiebreakers. Why are we giving Jeeves a loss?
Well, he didn't have a draw.
He's just unbeaten.
Yeah.
He's the only unbeaten.
And there you go.
Judesia probably going to strip away a cast down, I think. But it's going to depend on Josh's hand.
I think it's that should be the cast down, just because there is no double. Well, there is a double blue.
The thing is, he's going to be
once.
forced to use his energy.
Yeah.
Then that means he's not going to have double black later on. But he's going to take
That
Glimmer.
is absolutely greedy.
Well, the Glimmer's not filling energy.
Sure.
Although technically he doesn't have a fourth land yet. He could just miss that forever. And then
Yeah, but if he does get it, then he's going to have double blue for quite.
maybe he's just not going
turns.
to play into cast down or throw something expendable at it. And he does have the Blossoming Defense. Again, for one of that card is popping up quite often. Life Drafts is Beast Judy, a card that's very, very hard for the blue-black deck specifically to deal with.
It just refills so well. The selection's great for this type of deck.
A couple of cards I was actually thinking of to change in this Esper deck is maybe playing either Cast Out or Excellence Binding to deal with enchantments and artifacts which you can't normally deal with in blue-black colors.
Second erase. That is gonna hurt.
Well, he's almost certainly taking Disallow here. That in the second cast down, he's still gonna hit something.
Yeah, it's.
And he's going to. Not sure if he has a land in hand. It may be worthwhile to. Okay, so he does have the land. He's gonna use that, pay for Snake, pay a green to draw a card. Oh,
no, he just made sure it sticks.
I feel that Jeeves should have seen that one coming since he didn't pay one to draw a card.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of a walk-in.
And we do actually see Jeeves missing his fourth land drop.
Yep.
And Josh top takes an additional 2 days.
Wow. I see he's got one Nissa, so he didn't put both in from his sideboard, just the one. Quite, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna see it do this.
Quite good. Okay, what is he? Is he gonna
kill the snake? And I don't think that Jeeves knows that Josh only has one Blossoming Defense he's been seeing every game.
Probably not. You take the commit here, right? Although, do you think it's better?
If you're thinking you're going to resolve Nissa before he's going to resolve to Fairy, then yes. At the same time, Contempt deals with Nissa permanently.
Yes.
And Commit doesn't. I think the Contempt is my pick here.
Yeah, it's probably that he also probably doesn't want the extra life. More options. The commit only slows it down for 2 turns.
If you really wanted to be greedy, you could take the Fairy.
Yeah,
but he's 2 turns away from it at the earliest, and you need land. There's a chance it's tapped land here. Yeah, he takes the Contempt.
And since he knows there's nothing happening, he's probably just playing something out now. Can he? No. Oh no, he's only got the Nissa in hand. I forgot. Okay, never mind.
He draws the Bloodfast. He still misses the land drop. If Josh hits a land here, he's pretty well set up. Scries it away, hits the land that we were all looking for. Nissa.
There you go. Nissa, untap, hit for 5.
And here's the thing. If Jeeves hits a land here, which he does, he can't afford to commit the Nissa before Josh's upkeep. So in Josh's draw step, he's going to be forced to commit this Nissa. Ooh, he's not going to.
That's a snake. Okay, so Josh just kind of forces it, right?
I mean, I don't think you ulti Nissa. You could. You're
No, I
pretty
mean
far
like
ahead.
you go play the snake with the extra draw card plus the Nissa to actually just like do two things, and he knows Jeeves can only answer one of
The
them.
problem with this is now he's gonna play snake draw card.
Oh, no, it's not a
it's a
snake.
Brontodon.
It's a Brontodon. Huh.
So
That's-
Jeeves on 8.
There was some stacking happening there,
It's that well,
which was fine.
it
I
was
mean,
fine because Josh made it be fine, but it was rather draw.
It was. I mean, he should have like, okay, fine, draw the card and then go.
He's
bounce.
still missing a land drop here. The issue is, so Jeeves asking what the ulti of Listen does. The issue with that is the ulti isn't relevant because Josh is just gonna beat him with 5/5s.
Yes, there's no reason not to. But it also does give away to Josh that he has absolutely no way to deal with it. Which he should know because he knows about the Teferi and he knows about the Geralk. So
he doesn't know about one card effectively.
which is another Teferi.
And
Oof. Nice. Goes down to.
okay, so Josh did in fact emblem this turn, play the land through
Okay.
a card.
That is nice.
Oh, and he bottoms 3 lands.
That is actually quite hurtful. Shame. Okay, well that's that then. He does not attack this turn because he decided to draw instead, which I think is wrong. I think he should have actually just blasted again. He didn't need the extra draw, I think.
Jeeves flipped his land, yeah, because he put himself to 4, which by drawing an additional card.
He can't
at the
flip
beginning
it.
he can because he did it at the end of his opponent's turn, and it flips the beginning of upkeep because he's on 4 life.
Oh sure, that one. Okay, yes, he does. Which interestingly,
now he has
Geralt.
a Verdurous Geralk, and he's going to be forced
Main phase. Vraska's Contempt
on the Nissa.
Yeah, that's the only place it's going.
I can't actually.
Oh wow, no, it doesn't. It goes to the Gonti. Well, I mean, the Geralt does deal with the
but
land
at the same time,
quite
he
cleanly.
knows about the Brontodon.
Maybe he forgot. Okay, well, Brontodon just kills that.
Then Jeeves goes to 1.
Yeah, it's not a kill though. What is? Okay, so he needs to go Brontodon. I don't think there's anything else. Also using the extra to draw a card because again, it's just something that should happen.
Yeah, he's just throwing card.
That digs. That can easily find him a ballista for the last ping.
So you sack Brontodon.
Yeah, look, he can't do it all now, but I mean, he can do it.
This.
Shoot. 5. And then he looks for the answer. I think.
Go 3 deep, try and find Ballista.
Yeah.
He could just play Siphoner, right? His opponent's on 1. His opponent doesn't have sweepers. Snake.
And it's a snake instead. Oh well. It draws him 2 cards.
I don't know if Jeeves actually has an idea.
I don't think so.
Would have required him to have another Gyalk in hand. Or at least drawing into 1 now.
Fairy does nothing.
If he's getting a minus on this Nissa now, I think it's a bit too late.
Yes. Although, I mean,
You say
he
lived on
saves.
one.
Yeah, he stays. He gets himself an extra turn.
The thing is, you should have just gotten rid of the Nissa already. Now he has to deal with it when it comes back. I'm not too sure what Josh has underneath the Gonti. I can't
actually
actually
can't
recall.
remember.
I don't think I actually saw it. I just saw 3 lands and I was like, oh, he's bottoming 3 lands.
Land draws an extra card because emblem. Nissa.
Gets to play Nissa again and then swing for lethal.
And then that's it. Rough game for Jeeves.
I think Jeeves is just not used to playing against Nissa. It's been a while since she was good.
Yeah, well, yes, I haven't seen her around for ages.
In fact, the last time I played her, I switched out for Obnixilis.
I used to run both.
I had both too. I just decided to play a second Obnixilis.
I just ran them as one-offs.
That's what I was doing initially.
Anyway, so I think Jeeves is still favored, like having gotten stuck on 3 lands, running through 3D races.
I also think he misanalyzed how important the Nissa was.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
I done it the other way around.
Mm.
He doesn't take 5, so he's on 6, and then the Gonti attacks into him, he takes 2, goes to 4. Which is perfectly healthy. He untaps for the land that gains him 6 life if he sacks his Torrential Galk.
Yeah.
Which puts him to 10.
But yeah, like, look, the 3D races hurt a lot.
Yeah, 3D races pretty strong. The thing is, I don't think I've seen Jeeves cast the Scarab God today. I haven't been out of the box much, but I don't think I've seen any player other than Imad actually cast the Scarab God today. Quite a number of them in the room, surprisingly.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've got a very weird meta going here. Tahir on control again, even though he...
Didn't he get smashed last time?
Yes, and that's when he said he's never going to play control again. Okay.
If Jeeves just goes like turn 1, nothing, turn 2, hold up Fatal Push, play a tap land, turn 3, hold up Counterspell, turn 4, Glimmer into Scarab God, I think he's fine.
Yeah, well, that sounds like living the dream. That's a fine hand, I think. It's 4 lands. He can double blue, I think. What is that last one? Yes, okay.
And Jeeves no black. Gonna have to rely on that Field of Ruin. Negating the duties.
Not
a lot of people,
not today.
It seems, siding in negate against Snake and then negating duties.
It always feels bad. But at least you're choosing the card you lose.
The trigger on the stack, which I think is wrong. You actually want your opponent to draw lands here.
It still resolves.
Yes, it does, but at the same time, if you thin the deck of lands, it's likely. Well, I suppose if he's killing it anyway, he maybe wants it to be a 4 power creature.
Sure. Interesting interaction that if he had Fatal Push, this is the thing. Look, he does.
So now he actually doesn't want him to draw lands.
That's a land. And
then he still draws 2 lands.
Oh, what a hit.
Well, that's a bit of a blowout.
Did you take the Vraska's attempt here?
Well, I think you take disallow because there's no guarantee he gets an untapped black source.
Oh, this is also true. You can play the disallow, the untapped black source is
Because
massive.
the disallow and the contempt do effectively the same thing here.
Mhm.
Except there's a guarantee you can cast one. There's no guarantee
Sure.
you cast the other.
Okay, and
He gets an untapped black source.
why am I not surprised?
Well, it's not like he's getting punished for it.
Sure. That is very sad. Sad Rishkar.
I mean,
My least favorite card in this list.
does Jeeves even exile this? I think you do. It taps for a mana, but you know your
No.
opponent has lands anyway, so maybe you
Yeah, I don't think it actually matters. But he might as well. I mean, his hand is very bad. He wants to probably slow Josh down as much as possible.
If he draws land, he is pretty good here. And Josh
Playing a tap
land
instead.
I don't know if Josh has any actual threats now.
No, he actually doesn't. No, it doesn't look like it.
And Jeeves hit runner effectively. Nice lands. And Josh doing the same thing, except he's just got lands in hand. I don't think that Josh has anything here.
Oh, he only has lands in hand, and now he got a Brontodon, which he can't play.
Because it just gets killed by Torrential Gale. He's disallowing it.
Yeah, I guess this allows the correct play here.
If he tries to remove it, he just sacks it in response. Oh, he top decks another Gale. Well, Josh is dead in 2 turns, right?
Yes. Whatever it is, it's not sticking.
I mean, it can stick. It'll just die. Why would you not just Torrential exile it?
Because now he gets a counter instead of having something actually hit the board. 5 more. Did he? Yes? No? No? Not yet?
Okay, well, yeah, he's on 10, but Jeeves could have had lethal. Instead,
there's a Scarab God.
Josh be a clown.
Oh, this is such a downer on the end here, eh?
Yeah, Josh just all lands.
No love.
Josh on 5 now.
Oh wow, just lands.
All lands.
Oh, that is actually such a blowout for Josh. With the last one was so good for him.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong. He just
drew all the lands, like nothing else. I mean, that was 1 Brontodon and 1 Rishkar and 1 Jadelight Ranger, and
on the other side, Jeeves just goes untap black source, land that comes into play tapped into untap land.
Into exactly what he needed. But yeah, so that's our day. That means Jeeves
is the only undefeated, so the winner of today qualifies
as the 7th one overall.
Yeah. And 2 at Fishhook.
And we will see.
Anything happening next week?
I actually I'm not sure at all. I think next week is gonna be something else. What is next week?
Pretty sure it's not a qualifier.
Oh no, next week we've got another modern qualifier. It's the week after where there's Standard and Fishhook. So yeah, we will be back here doing some modern coverage next Sunday. Cheers.
Cheers.